The question posed by a brother from Bangladesh or brother from West Bengal, India, is that there are many information, there are many misinformation, many confusion, that people are saying that I was there during the FIFA World Cup and I was invited, and it is haram to attend or go to Qatar for the FIFA World Cup because it's modern Jahiliyyah. This is the opinion. As far as the opinion regarding can a person take part in football, this was answered by me a few days before the World Cup, weeks before the World Cup. I think it was in the month of September. And I said that there are some scholars who say that, playing football or playing professional football is haram. And I gave the opinion that playing football per se is not haram. And even playing professional football, as long as you do not do any haram activity, which is against the Sharia, or you do not miss any of the fard activity. So if a person plays football or plays professional football and does not miss any of his fard activity, like playing salah or paying zakat or doing the Saum, fasting in the month of Ramadan, if he doesn't miss any of his faraid activity and doesn't indulge in any haram activity, so football per se or any game or any activity, if it's not against the Sharia, if you do not involve in any haram activity or do not miss any of your fard activity, it's not haram. The reasoning given by scholar was, you may miss your salah, you may do this. These are thus if it happens. So it's very much possible that a person can play football and not miss any of his fard activities. I know thousands of Muslims who play football and don't miss their salah and don't miss their Saum. They don't indulge in any haram activity. Yes, when you go to professional football at the lower level, it's very easy to avoid any haram activity and miss the faraid. When you go on a higher level, as I mentioned in the answer, that on international level, there are chances that they may ask you to advertise for an alcohol or for an interest-based bank, which may be haram. Of course, you can avoid this. You can say no, but you require the courage. So it becomes more difficult to avoid the haram activity, but it is possible. So if a Muslim plays professional football and doesn't indulge in any haram activity, does not advertise for the alcohol or for a conventional bank, and doesn't indulge in any haram activity, doesn't miss any of his faraid, then football per se is not haram. And I gave this long answer. I don't intend repeating it again. And regarding anyone attending, going to Qatar, as far as I am concerned, yes, I was there in Qatar during the World Cup season. During the full month of the World Cup, I was there. I was there earlier, more than a month earlier than the World Cup started, and a month later, so I was there for a few months in Qatar. Now, can anyone point out to me what haram activity did I do in Qatar? For your information, let me tell you that I did not attend a single football match during the World Cup, FIFA World Cup 2022. Yes, I wanted to attend, not that I'm a fan of football, I'm not a fan of football, but I wanted to see the organization. It's a World Cup international event, and I have this flair to attend, to see the management, to see how it's organized. I wanted to know that how well do they have the audience in the stadium. And I know, because we are involved in this activity of having the largest English Islamic conference in the world, where we had for several years the Peace Conference in Bombay, and the gathering over the 10 days was more than 1 million people. And the last day for my talk, there were 300,000 people. If you compare to the largest stadium in Qatar, the Lusail Stadium, it had a capacity of 80 to 88,000 people. That is, if you compare to the last day of the Peace Conference in my talk, there were more than 300,000 people. So it is about more than 3.5 times the audience of the largest stadium in the FIFA World Cup Qatar 2022. And the largest talk that I gave in India was more than 1 million people live in one sitting, not on the social media, not on the satellite channel, live, the largest gathering that Allah blessed, and with Allah's help we were able to conduct in 2012 in Bihar, Kishanganj, more than 1 million people live in one sitting. And if you count all the 8 stadiums of Qatar during the World Cup, it had a capacity of less than 400,000 people. That means the largest gathering that we had and we conducted as an organization is more than 1 million people in one sitting, which is 2.5 times more than all the 8 stadiums of Qatar World Cup in one sitting. So it was my desire to go and attend and see how they organize, but I was a bit careful. You say ihtiyat. Because I, being a Dai, I didn't want anyone to lay any allegation, so I personally did not attend a single football match, though I had access to tickets of almost all, right from the opening ceremony till the end, the quarterfinals, semi-finals, finals. I had access, I had passes, I had tickets, but I purposely did not go to avoid anyone laying any allegation. I'm not saying that going is wrong, but I, being a Dai and many people follow me, I was careful because I knew what was going to happen, but I want to be a bit careful that I should not be caught on the wrong foot. So as far as I am concerned, I did not attend a single of any of the matches during the World Cup, FIFA World Cup 2022, which took place in Qatar. Because I know that all the earlier World Cup had many things haram, but Qatar took care and saw to it that they tried to keep it as Islamic as possible. I'm not saying that Qatar was 100%, they held the full World Cup as per the Islamic Sharia. There were drawbacks, but comparatively, if you see, normally what the World Cup takes place in other parts, it took place earlier, Qatar did a fantastic job. And they were able to demonstrate an example. So as far as the World Cup is concerned, yes, I went for doing dawah in Qatar. I stayed there for a couple of months during the World Cup season, and I had many ideas, many suggestions which I shared. Some were taken by them, some were not. And we did dawah. We were able to convince, mashallah, Allah gave hidayah to many non-Muslims, alhamdulillah. And we took this opportunity to do dawah, and of course we could have done better, but whatever was possible in the resources that were there at our disposal, we took this opportunity for doing dawah. Why does anyone say that it is haram? Yes, there may be certain acts, if you say during the World Cup that in the match may have been objectionable. That's the reason I took precaution and didn't go for the matches. But otherwise, living and doing dawah to the viewers, to the visitors, it's good, alhamdulillah. And why did anyone say that doing dawah is haram? If they say this is modern jahiliyyah, that is their thinking. And if you have an opportunity to do dawah to the Jahil people, it's good. That is the time that you have to go and take advantage of it. If you compare and see what Qatar has done, they did a fabulous job in the World Cup and gave an example to the world that there is a Muslim country that can hold an international event, which is the second largest international event after Olympics. The number of people that gather together, it's the second largest, which is held every 4 years. Olympics is the largest. Second largest is the FIFA World Cup, that is the football World Cup. And we are aware that most of the times that the World Cup is held, there are umpteen number of haram activities taking place. Normally, there may be thousands of haram activities that take place. If a normal Muslim would have done, maybe he would have had hundreds of haram activity. As far as a Dai is concerned, he cannot indulge in any activity, even if it's 1% haram. We don't claim that we are 100% pure, we don't make mistakes, we don't do minor sins. But as a Dai, we cannot intentionally do any haram. But as a general Muslim, if he has to organize, he will do hundreds of haram. Qatar, on the other hand, alhamdulillah, I like to praise them that they did a very good, beautiful demonstration how Islamic country should hold a World Cup.